Stand down, Captain. Turn back now, and perhaps Arthur will reconsider branding you a traitor.
I'm long past caring what he thinks. Besides, being called a traitor by our king almost feels like a badge of honor.
Insolent knave! Do you truly think Nimue will save you? She only kept her neck because she's Merlin's precious pupil. You are nothing.
Look, I've no quarrel with you, Sir Knight. I'd rather be far away from your lot. But alas, I need Nimue for that. So either get out of my way or say a prayer to the All-Mother.
Traitors don't get mercy.
Thank you for the rescue, Captain. I won't ask if you understand the consequences. I'm not as foolish as your peers would like to believe. Since you've already stained your hands with the blood of the Knights of the Round Table, does that mean you've made your choice?
Most of my peers were annihilated by those four-armed demons. At least the ones I give a damn about. Watching your quartermaster get ripped apart gives you perspective. A shitty bloody perspective, but a perspective nonetheless.
It does, doesn't it? As for me, I've known nothing else. I don't remember my parents, but I remember the first Four-Dweller I ever saw. I may have been born here, but Avalon never felt like home to me. We have to face facts. This war is futile, and it's only costing us more lives. It's time we went home. Our true home. The one we so recklessly abandoned.
Recklessly, huh? Sometimes I forget your lot doesn't remember the Red Death. Doesn't even know it, really.
The Red Death...
Let me finish, before you say something stupid that makes me toss you back into that cell. I'm talking about perspective, the way I see it. Coming to Avalon, we traded one hell for another. But the one before? At least it was ours. Avalon isn't, and I doubt it ever will be.
Then you'll help us. You'll command the fleet again.
Aye, I will. Steering the ships back to the homelands won't be easy, but people say you're powerful enough to make it happen. I don't want to die in this wretched, miserable land, cursed by an enemy that will never stop hating us.
You won't, Captain. I swear it. I'll see to it we all live to see the shores of the homelands, whether for the first time, or once again.
You shouldn't promise things like that. Now I'll have to hold you to it. Still, you've got me. I'll do everything I can to make sure you deliver.
Merlin, where are you? Ugh, I swear if this is another one... Merlin, I don't have time for your games!
That, my dear, was a threshold warden. Not so easy to defeat, wouldn't you say? They're beings created to maintain order between worlds. Even King Arthur himself once struggled to win a duel against one. I wanted to show you what you might face if you continue with your plan to leave Avalon. There's no telling how many of them may be waiting on the shores of the homelands.
And that foolish duel with an illusion was supposed to scare me. I've outgrown your games, Merlin. I'm no longer a little girl who needs to be tested with elaborate, impossible challenges. Even if creatures like the Threshold Wardens exist, I won't be facing them alone. I made up my mind. I'm sailing to the homelands.
Nimue, child. You're making a mistake.
Don't call me a child! I'm not making a mistake. I'm fixing yours. I know you thought you were doing the right thing by coming to this island, but the things you and Arthur do now are horrifying. You call it survival, but you're killing the very world you claim to save. You bend life and death to your will and call it wisdom. But all I see is madness, dressed as progress. Even if you somehow made Avalon habitable, you're building its foundations on piles of sacrificed bodies. And how exactly does that make us any different from the Four Dwellers? How could anyone live here, knowing what we know?
I know this war has been long. I'm not proud of everything we've done, but it was necessary for all survival. Yes, blood was spilled, but the land will absorb it, and will honor it by building something new. We're so close to victory. Arthur and I are working tirelessly on a solution that will give us an edge. You just need to trust us. Trust me.
Oh, the solution, of course. Your vile, immoral experiments you wanted me to take part in. You know my answer, Master Merlin. For me, the cost outweighs the gain. So let me say it again. You can imprison me, you can try to persuade or intimidate me. I still won't help you. These things you have planned won't bring us victory. They'll only rewrite the future into something far worse than you can imagine. They break the cycle of nature itself, and that break will be paid for by generations not yet born. So yes, my only solution is to go back home.
The homelands are not your home. For you, they're a fantasy so far removed from reality that you can't even comprehend it. Do you think people chose to leave everything they knew on a whim? The Red Death was killing us. We were drowning in blood, pus, and corpses. That's what you want to go back to.
How is that any different from what's happening here? I've watched people die to this senseless war, to the weirdness, since the day I was born. And plagues come and go. It's been years. How do you even know the Red Death is still there?
I see you won't listen to reason.
I could say the same about you. Stay and rot on this island if that's what you wish, but I'm done. You and your precious Arthur can do whatever you please. I want no parts in it anymore. We're going home, and you won't stop us.
That's where you're wrong. Your rebellion ends here, Nimue. Perhaps sometime in a cell will cool your temper.
What? No, you can't!
I can, and I will. Trust me. This is for your own good. You would have died screaming if the Red Death had got you. This inn was merciful, believe me. And yet, you gave it your life. I hope his sister turned out to be smarter than him. Fools! Do they truly think this is a game to us? That their deaths mean nothing? This war will end.
Merlin, my scouts reported back about Lear and Nimue's rebellion. They're trying to sabotage the iron shipments from the Forlorn Swords. They say their demand is that Sarras and the other ships be allowed to sail away from Avalon. Are they out of their minds? How can they be so oblivious to the dangers we left in the homelands? I held children dying of the Red Death in my arms. I watched them go stiff and cold. And then I myself carried them to the Pious. The homelands are ruined, poisoned. A graveyard soaked in the blood of those we had to leave behind. And they want to go back and weaken our forces in the process.
My king, I agree. This is suicide. The homeland's not a place to return to. They're a tomb. And yet, Nimue, Lear, and the other rebels refuse to see reason.
On that we agree. I've had enough of ordering men to die. But if they choose to go, I'll let them. Let them choose their fate. Let them swim that sea for what it is. If they refuse to believe the danger, let them learn it on their own skin. I'm tired, Merlin. Tired of proving to everyone that we have no home to return to.
Nimue is young, full of dangerous hope. She can be guided, tempered. They can all be kept here and given purpose. There must be another way. A better way than simply letting them die for daring to hold their own opinions in the middle of a war.
Another way? How many more have we lost while we wait for another way? I know what drives them. I've also looked into faces hollowed by hunger, smoke, and fever. And I know what Nimue thinks of our efforts to keep Avalon safe for centuries to come. Yet if she can't see the reason behind all the sacrifices we made to make Avalon our home, if she cannot accept that war is never a clean affair, then perhaps it is best to let her die along with her idealistic views. If it costs me my peace, so be it. Give them Sarras. Give them 2 more ships. Send them off. Let them find out for themselves.
You would send them to die just to prove there's no way back to the homelands?
No. I'd make an example of them. They cannot defy our decisions and fight us. The real enemy is in front of us, not among us. That said, I will not be the king who stole their last act of defiance. And if they die in the process, that's their choice.
My king, let me speak with her one more time.
Do as you wish. She's your responsibility. You know my mind. Give them ships. Burn the rest. I have a war to finish.
When Nimue and Captain Lear set sail for the homelands with the rebels, Merlin did the only thing he could to save them. Through a powerful spell, he sealed the entire fleet. Drawing on Nimue's magical potential as its source of power, flashes of light tore through the storm as the ships vanished beneath the raging sea, swallowed by the depths before anyone could understand what had happened. To the world, it looked like mass murder, a cruel punishment for desertion. But in truth, Merlin had saved them, allowing Sarras to become its own kingdom, far from the weirdness and the dangers of Avalon.
Well back, child of the surface. I sensed you restoring order to the after images. The calm I feel now tells me that all is correct. Everything is back where it belongs. Thank you for intervening. I trusted it wouldn't happen, and here you are, safe and sound before me. I didn't know exactly what cleaning up the after images would entail. Never before had they been in such disarray. Therefore, I assumed the one whose arrival caused those changes would also be able to restore the old order. A war story, you say? Fascinating. I had no idea they would show themselves to you that way. I have no access to the contents of an after-image once it has changed, so I cannot say what you are shown. I can sense the after-images as if they were parts of my own body. I know where it hurts, but not why, and I cannot heal myself. Yes, I will honor Josephus's request. Now that the after-images are in order, I can leave my post. The melody of the organ will sound again, and Captain Lear will wake. I only hope you know what that entails.
This one is glad that you might witness this epochal work. The folk of Tungo departed into the bosom of the Lord of the Depths, and this one absorbed their knowledge. So much knowledge. It was destiny, and destiny must not be denied. Had this one not carried out the slaughter, some other gatherer of knowledge would have done so. Only one who has amassed sufficiently great knowledge may attempt to seize it from others. This one was ready to submit to the trial. Ruko is of no consequence. Ruko was only the voice of Echo, who set the law of gathering knowledge. The archive itself will decide whether one has gathered enough knowledge and is worthy to cross the threshold. This one is convinced that he will prove worthy. The Toplander again tries to speak falsehoods and defile this one's knowledge. This one will never believe that the sacrifice he made to prove himself worthy of entering the archive was in vain. Urkel never abandons his post. That is common knowledge. So, once again, you tried to deceive this one. But this time, this one needs no barnacles to know he is right. Knowledge is our currency, Toplander, and this one has made an investment, taking upon himself the responsibility of gathering the knowledge of all Tumbo's inhabitants. Perhaps others believed that knowledge was a purpose and a mission, but this one quickly learned that faith has nothing to do with it. Maybe Urkel truly is not in the archive, but that does not change the fact that Tumbo's knowledge already resides within this one. This one will wait patiently for the Guardian of the Archive to return. Time cannot be reversed, and what has happened cannot be undone. The investment will not go to waste. This one expected that a hot-blooded Toplander might react thus. This one will gladly accept the Toplander's challenge and seize the Toplander's knowledge. After the Toplander who has already visited the archive is defeated, the path to infinite knowledge will be open for this one. Let us fight.
That has been my suspicion from the moment we set foot here. This place hums with magic, but it isn't the weirdness. I only needed proof. I just didn't expect it to come through Merlin's own memories. It seems I did, though I can't fully explain why. I'm still not entirely myself, but I can understand it. In wartime, Showing mercy to deserters wasn't a luxury I could afford. The war was nearing its end, true, but we still couldn't risk losing a single sword. By letting some sail and sinking the rest, I prevented more from fleeing, and, in a way, proved that I respected my people's choices, no matter the cost. He did, just in his own way. He had a habit of doing that. I told him to sink the ships, and he did. But he also saved Nimue and the rebels because he wished to. And if that act gave rise to this whole kingdom around us, well, perhaps it turned out for the best, for Sarras and its people. Though I wonder what fate awaits them when we need to reclaim the fleet for Avalon. When that time comes, I trust you'll make the right choice. Shell named Hiss never inspired my trust, but to suspect him of plotting the death of his own kind? No. No one could have foreseen that. I know Tumbo followed laws that we, as surface dwellers, could never fully understand. But mass murder in the name of knowledge? I don't think I ever want to understand the mind of that wretched creature. I only hope the people of Tumbo have found peace, and all the knowledge they desired, wherever they now believe themselves to be. Such a terrible loss.
You need something. Take care.
You wouldn't believe. I went where Leah went. I was sworn to him. Although, I suppose he would have let me go if I'd asked. I didn't. Truth is, I wanted to sail the homeland seas again. Go back to that vastness. On Avalon, we had to hug the shore. I missed being alone with the sea. Stop dithering and let's get on with it.
What is it you seek, child of the surface? I prefer for us to begin our performance soon. The longer you linger in Sarras, the stronger your presence disturbs my archive, and they will start to react to it. Of course I do. I am the keeper of the archive for a reason. But it's something I could tell you even without that knowledge, because I know the one you are about to face. You will meet Captain Lear. And if fortune favors you, perhaps even Lady Nimue. Although I wouldn't count on that. Their fates are bound together. If you disturb that balance, things will change. And you already know how I feel about change. Because their minds never reach beyond Sarras itself. Mine does. It spans the entire depths. To me, Sarras is simply a harbor. A quiet place from which I may fulfill my duties. So I'm not keen on change. Although I sense that change has already begun. And I suspect it will be you who decides how far it goes. He's an exceptional warrior, and fiercely protective of Lady Nimue. I know you've seen much already, but the captain, well, he's something else entirely. Lady Nimue made him fall asleep when his mind began to drift into dangerous waters, and the power he held threatened all life in Sarras. And now you mean to wake him up? If he refuses to let you pass, and I expect he will, you'd best be prepared for a fight. Perhaps the hardest one you'll ever face. What should happen? It will remain in one form or another. Down here, life adapts far better than it ever could on the surface. Whatever comes, its people will endure. So, I suggest you waste no more time. Go to Lear and Nimue. No matter what you decide, the change has already begun. I only wish to return to my work. Let us begin the performance, shall we? It's not the first purge the village beneath my archive has endured. By my count, this was the 14th Tumbo I've known. In the end, there is always someone who, in their pursuit of knowledge, concludes that the only way to obtain it is to slaughter those who possess it. A false assumption, of course, yet one that repeats itself unfailingly. I don't trouble myself over it. In time, Tambo will be repopulated by those drawn here by the knowledge stored within my archive. What happens to Tambo surprises no one. All who choose to live there know the risks. Please, don't prolong this moment. What must happen will happen.
Welcome, child of the surface. Everyone is ready to play, thanks to you. But tell me, are you ready? From where you're headed, there is no return. You will go back to the surface, and we will face the consequences of what is decided in Lady Nimue's chamber. The melody of the organ will resonate through all of Sarras, carrying the promise of change. Its sound will awaken our captain, Lear, the one charged with Lady Nimue's protection, the one who calls to you, and to him within you. Of course, child of the surface, I knew it was you. And you, King Arthur. You who, believing you doomed us, became the reason this realm was born. You who granted us both the grace and the curse of eternal life. All of this is your doing, Arthur. You will learn in time. Perhaps we'll meet again. And when we do, I'll have your answer. But that depends on the choice you make in Lady Nimue's chamber. I would not presume to guess at Lady Nimue's intentions, but I believe you will find the answers you seek, if you are willing to ask them yourself. This is why I gathered the remaining organists. I can't tell you more than what you'll learn from Apps and Ercol. I served under him when he was still in his prime, but I wasn't there for his downfall. All I know is that little remains of the Captain Lear I once knew. Nothing human, at least. One way or another, you'll have to face him. It's the only path to Lady Nimwe's chamber. Ready? We're waiting for your signal. Excellent. Gather, my brothers. It is time to awaken our captain. This sound. Sarras has not heard it since the day it was born. It will be glorious.
I only hope that whatever decision Lady Nimue makes, it won't bring disorder to my archive again.
I believe in you, child of the surface. You bring change, and I have waited so many years for it. Give Lady...
Traitor, it was your command that doomed us to this fate. You were supposed to let us go. And for that, I should thank you. Sarras is no blessing. It is a curse. You saw what became of my entire crew. Before we made Sarras our home, we drowned it in blood. We fled one war, only to fight another. We helped conquer Avalon, only to be forced to fight again for our existence. That is not what we wanted when we left those shores. So in a way, we are avenged. But do not think that such news will change my resolve. Sarras is as the Lord of the Seas made it. Not Merlin, not Arthur. Glory to Lady Nimue and her endless wisdom for allowing me to fall into slumber. Were it not for her, I would have convinced the twins to release me to the surface centuries ago. And there I would have found you, Arthur, the traitor. I would have destroyed everything you left behind. I would have shattered every fragment of you and erased your presence from history. Just as you erased us. Do not dare mock me, traitor. Our homeland may be ruined, but at least it would still be a home. If we had to spill blood, better that it be the blood of red death husks than that of innocent, otherworldly, sentient beings. And if you don't understand that distinction, then your soul is lost, without a chance for redemption. Immortality is not life, mortal. The one you carry within you should know this well. His decision condemned us all, even if our doom was stretched across the endless span of time. A traitor shielding another traitor. What difference does it make who gave the order? And what kind of king is he, who knows not what his servants do? I can feel that traitor stench upon you. And by the almighty Lord of the Seas, I swear, this day you both shall die. I despise your pity. I care nothing for what Merlin desired. If the will of the Lord of the Seas had bound us, I would hate him too. But I know this. Of all the great figures in Sarras history, he alone wished us well. Gladly I offer your souls to the glory of the Lord, and your flesh to the dwellers of this realm. No one is permitted to enter Lady Nimwa's chambers. I swore to guard her, and I shall keep that oath. Know this, I command the full might of Sarras.
I've been wondering when you'd find your way here. Your presence has rippled through all of Sarras. Wave after wave after wave. It reminds me of something. Someone. From a long time ago. I know all the comings and goings of Sarras. I am in every part of these depths, swimming with the floatlings in the Ulcerate, gathering knowledge with the villagers of Tumbo, watching over Lear in his slumber, gazing into the endless dark of the sea. Tell me, what do you think of my little domain? Do you like it? It is. All I've ever wanted was a peaceful place. To know how it feels. The quiet. The absence of fear. He gave me that. I should be grateful. Yet it still feels like a betrayal. Ever since I was sealed here, yes. I couldn't say how long it's been. Tell me, does the war still rage on? "600 years? Huh. It feels twice as long, to be honest. Still, if you're here, I suppose we won. Though I shudder to imagine the cost. At least the new children of Avalon don't have to live in fear. Tell me, how is life on the surface now? That brings me no joy. Although I must admit that I feel a touch vindicated. I always believed nothing good would come from staying on Avalon. Not after what Merlin and Arthur did to tame the island. To meddle with the laws of nature. There were bound to be consequences. Our ancestors should never have left the homelands. Every time I raised it, Red Death was the phrase they used to silence me. And now, it's here anyway. How bitterly ironic. My troubled youth, you mean? And what? Are you wondering if I regret it now? If I feel I'm paying for my stubbornness, my arrogance, getting drunk on my own power? I'm afraid the truth is less dramatic. I was tired. I'd lost hope. And I wanted no part in Merlin and Arthur's vile practices. They stole our future before our lives even had a chance to begin. At least his betrayal gave me time to rest and to build something of my own. Something better than what we left on the surface. Save me? What do you mean? And because of that, he... Am I supposed to be grateful? Thank the great Merlin, wherever he is, for bestowing this honor on us. What kind of logic drove him to that? Everyone died anyway. Just because they didn't rest in peace doesn't mean they're living. I don't understand. If he knew that would happen, why didn't he tell me? No, I don't think I would have. I'd have thought it was a ploy to keep me here. But I wouldn't have left without finding out for myself whether the danger was real. I was young, not an idiot. And people were relying on me. I wouldn't have led them to certain death just to spite Merlin. Gods, I'm tired of this argument, even after all these years. Merlin said I was too young, that I didn't know the world. And he was right. Of course I didn't. How could I? My world was burning, and I had no hope it would ever stop. I'd had enough suffering, and he wanted me to add to it by lending my power to his abhorrent ideas. He didn't care about the future, only about finding a way to win the war. Did he succeed in the long run? Or has history proven that I was right all along? Aren't you here because the world is on the brink of collapse? It's easy to judge with hindsight. I had no such luxury. History does love its circles, I see. Far be it from me to begrudge anyone wanting to leave these miserable shores, but you do know the fleet is bound to me, don't you? You're asking for my life, and for Sarras to fall. It was. The circumstances are different now. What happens on the surface matters little to me. I have my own domain to tend to. You don't pull your punches, do you? What I want doesn't really matter here. Sarras is bigger than me. But if you truly wish to know, I do not desire death. I'm at peace here already. Yet, I wouldn't mind it either. As you said, I've been alive for a long time. If it were only about me, I wouldn't care either way. But it isn't. Perhaps. Yet this is their home. We are intertwined. Do you think Tumbo's thirst for knowledge came merely from proximity to the archive? Or that the creatures of the Ulcerate feel the need to prove themselves only because of their father? I am them, and they are me. They will survive. Most of them. But they will be untethered. Thank you. I hope you mean that. I never loved Avalon. It gave me life, and then it took everything else. It never felt like home to me. But I know it does for so many. I truly hope things will get better for them one day.
What have you done? This was not meant to be. Sarras was meant to be freed, and us along with it. You wanted answers. This is your answer. I curse you, Arthur, for this accursed undeath in this accursed realm. 1,000-fold I curse you. You were meant to free us from this endless agony. If Sarras is to remain, then I will make sure you become one with it.
The long-awaited change that Josephus and the other denizens of Sarras yearned for never came to pass. Those in the sanctuary went on as they always had, tending to their knowledge, raising the Lord's offspring, hidden from the wider world. The sanctuary drifted on in its quiet bubble, peaceful and undisturbed, steady in its ways.
Yes, since she was a little girl. Merlin took her in after she lost her parents. He told me she had immense potential, even at a very young age. She learned quickly, so Merlin always kept her close. Even when she barely reached my knee, I had the feeling she didn't like me. Why would it? I condemned her actions during the war, but I never bore a personal grudge against her. She seems content with her existence and the small realm she commands, although I wonder if your visit has made her feel its fragility. Sparing her is what Merlin would have wanted. My only concern is that the fleet remains sealed, denying us a useful asset. Indeed, and I stand by my decision. It was the right one at the time. But a fleet is a fleet. Having it back might have proven advantageous. There is no point in dwelling on settled matters. Let us move on. We still have much to do. I think she blamed me for Merlin's descent into increasingly questionable methods. She idolized him, and, like any daughter, wanted him to be without fault. It was easier to blame my influence than face the fact that Merlin had never been who she believed him to be. What else could I have done? She ignited a rebellion against her king, and in a time of war. Treason remains treason. The sentence would have been the same. I decided against a public execution, not only to keep her from becoming a martyr, but because I would not force my friend to watch me set a blade to the neck of the girl he called his daughter. Yes, sailing for the homelands was madness. On that I will not waver. Yet the urge was born from her hatred of Avalon, what it took from her and what it was becoming. She judged that the foundations we were laying were rotten. And after all I have seen, I must admit she may not have been entirely wrong.
I've been if I feel I'm a place that history for you and for no, you don't. No one truly understands the consequences of their actions until they come back to haunt them. And they will, year after year. And I doubt you'll have hundreds of years to lay them to rest. You'll do what you want. I can't stop you. Perhaps your conscience will, if you have one.
You had the cheek to disturb my lady. But you see, she cannot leave this place. No. She must remain in the depths. Worry not, my beloved. No one will trouble us anymore. With you, I shall drown forever. My beloved, I'll get rid of anyone who troubles you. My beloved, I'll get rid of anyone who troubles you.
Being set free into the vast sea was, at first, not easy for the denizens of Sarras. They struggled in a space that lacked the structure and order once kept by Nimue and the first crew. In time, however, they grew used to their newfound freedom and spread far and wide, slowly forgetting the place of their origin.
Yes. Since he told Sheila even. Do you seek absolution from me, or condemnation? I will give you neither, my friend. If Sarras taught me one thing, it is that we cannot foresee the full consequences of our choices. When I told Merlin to sink the fleet, I never imagined an entire realm would rise from it. Now it is gone, and the fleet is free once more. But what happens after is out of your hands. What's done is done. The only thing we can do is move forward. I think she blamed it was... What else could I have done? Yes. Sailing for the homelands, yet she and